Welcome back. Let's give you an update on this now. Kwazulu-Natal Premier Willies Mchunu is expected to outline the province's plans to better deal with torrential rains and flooding in future. At least 70 people died when heavy rains swept through parts of the province during the Easter weekend, with thousands of residents left homeless. Reporter Mawande Keswa joins me now live from Durban. Mawande, good morning to you. So talk to us first about the weekend's activities in as far as the recovery and cleanup process. How's that going?
Good morning, Cody. Well, the recovery process and cleanup operations over the weekend seem to go according to plan. A number of NGOs, a number of government officials, as well as private companies pulled together to ensure that they try and bring relief aid and relief efforts to the communities that have been affected, particularly in the Umlazi area. Mopping up operations started there. Community members within the areas that were affected were given food parcels. Some of the rubble and debris were removed from the various areas. And then what had happened after that is that the families from those areas welcomed that aid. We understand that there was a protest brewing in Umlazi out section there, where the community in that area felt as though they were neglected. Fortunately, non-profit organizations came to the fore and they assisted, and government as well came to that area and spoke to the community members, and that was resolved. Now, we understand that at least 124 houses or so were destroyed, and about of that 70 that you spoke of fatalities, about 14 of those were from the Umlazi area alone. So in terms of the damages and fatalities, Umlazi was highly affected by those floods. We understand that mop-up operations also moved into the city as the beachfront as well as the harbour. Over 1,000 people combined were available to ensure that they try and clean up that area. So it was mainly volunteers and a number of organizations that had went to those areas to ensure that mop-up operations are underway. They also moved on to the Toti area that we had covered extensively over the week, and mop-up operations there as well went according to plan. So in terms of that situation, it seems as though it has been handled quite well.
Mawande, talk to us about the cost estimates of this flood damage.
Now, currently, the eThekwini municipality has committed about 658 million rands towards repairs and assistance, and the damages are estimated to be well over 650 million. So one would presume that the 658 million would suffice to ensure that they take care of the repairs and also the rebuilding. But that is just for the city alone. When you come to the province, we do expect that that number will most definitely double, if not triple. But we will get further indication as to how much exactly it's going to cost Kwazulu-Natal as a whole. We understand that the Executive Council met on Friday, and at that meeting, a number of reports were tabled, and one of those reports that was tabled was looking at the number of fatalities as well as the damages that we are now talking about in terms of how much is it going to cost. Now, when Mr. Willies Mchunu, the KZN Premier, holds the briefing, he will give us an indication as to how much the damages will cost as a province and how much is going to be put in to ensure that that money is sufficient to take care of the repairs, the rebuilding of people's homes, and so forth.
Just briefly then, Mawande, what time is the Premier expected to address the media?
The Premier is expected to address the media at 11 o'clock. Now, we do expect quite a number of things to happen there, as we've highlighted the amount of money that is going to take to repair the damages and how much the damages amount to. We also expect the number of fatalities to increase slowly because the Durban Search and Rescue Unit is still searching for a missing victim who was washed away during the floods. Now, the search was conducted at the Mega Pilani Bridge and following it downstream to the Lotus Park Bridge. There are other areas where we find something similar happening. So once authorities have that information, we can expect that the numbers in terms of fatalities and those missing will definitely go up. But the Premier will give us that information. I would presume that once it's time for him to address us, he will have a conclusive gathering of all the numbers that are involved. But we can expect that a lot of these numbers, from the damages in terms of cost, the fatalities, and also missing persons, will increase.
All right. Thank you very much for that quick update.